Loved by Clover.
Now, from a fire conversation to a fire recipe, give your dinner a refreshing finale with an extra special treat from your freezer. Our Clover Bliss ice cream roll combines the best of both worlds of cake and ice cream. And to top it off, an indulgent garnish of Clover Bliss chocolate medium dairy dessert, because it's a dream with ice cream. Now, if you know me, you know that I have a sweet tooth, right? So today, I'm basically combining the best of both worlds by making a beautifully decadent cake and then mixing it with some ice cream. So to start it all off, we're going to make the base of our cake. That starts with the dry ingredients, which I've got over here. We've got some flour, we've got some cocoa powder, and we've got some salt. As you always know, with the dry ingredients, it always is best to mix them separately and then add them into your liquid ingredients. And for the liquid ingredients, what we've got over here is we've got some egg yolks. What we've done is we've separated our egg yolks and our egg whites because we want to get a nice fluffy sponge. So we're going to add the egg whites in a bit later. Into the sugar, into the eggs, we're going in with some sugar and then a little bit of vanilla essence. So all we do now is we're going to use a whole lot of elbow grease to mix this together, because what we're trying to do is you don't want the sugar to burn the egg yolks, so you want to make sure that you start whisking as soon as you add that sugar into the eggs. So all we basically want here is we want to be able to create an figure 8 in this mixture that we're making here, so that it basically means that it's been whisked up perfectly, and then we can add the rest of our ingredients. So once it starts getting pale, as you can see, obviously that nice yellow color from the egg yolks starts to get a little bit more pale now. That means that we're doing the right thing. So basically what we do now is I've added all the ingredients into this pot, and because we want a nice fluffy sponge, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add half of my egg whites into this mixture, because as much as we want the volume, we also still want the stability in this cake. So once we've done that, I'm just going to work the egg whites into the egg yolks. You don't want to basically take those bubbles in the egg whites out. You want to make sure that it still maintains some of that egg white in there. So don't mix it up too much. It's fine if you still see some of those air bubbles. It's perfectly fine. And into this mixture, before I add the remaining egg whites, I'm going to go in with our dry ingredients. So all we do here is we add everything, the flour, the cocoa powder, and the salt that I mentioned earlier, and make sure to fold it in. Do not whisk. Try to make sure, avoid the temptation to whisk, because the whole idea is you want to maintain those air bubbles into this mixture. While we're adding there, you can see that it's getting a little bit on the drier end. Now you can start adding the remainder of the egg whites that you have into this mixture. And there we go. Just continue folding it in. Where you can just work it in with your spatula. The whole idea is basically just to make sure that it's fully worked in. And then the other thing I'm going to do here is, because of the chocolatey indulgence of this, we're going to add our Clover Bliss into this mixture as well. Yes, our Clover Bliss goes on top, but you can never have too much chocolate. I mean, I can never complain if there's too much chocolate in a dessert. So you basically just keep whisking this, or rather folding this in together, and making sure you've got that beautiful sponge mixture that we've got here. And then this is basically going to go into our already prepped tray. That's been lined with some parchment paper, and this is going to bake at 180 degrees for about 20 minutes. Start it off at 15, and if you see that it's still a bit wobbly on the center, then go in for another 2 minutes. Just keep monitoring it. Just try not to open your oven as you do this, because all you want to do is just see if it's fully baked or not. And that's it. Our cake, don't worry about it being in the center. It's going to spread out throughout the cooking process. Put it in the oven, then let it bake to your desired basically until it's fully cooked. And this is what you're going to have at the end. Basically what happened is I took it out of the oven while it was still warm, about 2 minutes after I'd taken it out of the oven, rolled it up in some paper towel and kitchen towel, and basically formed this. So you want to do it as soon as it comes out of the oven, when it's still easy to basically maneuver and still pliable. And then into this is where our ice cream goes, because remember I promised you an ice cream roll. So this is where our ice cream goes in. We're going to be using our Country Fresh, because if you do go and get it in store now, there is a combo. So it is somewhat of a giveaway that they're giving you. So you get some of your Country Fresh ice cream, and that goes into the center. And because you know that with our Clover Bliss medium dairy dessert, because of its decadence and its beautiful texture, you can add it inside of your ice cream roll, or you can even add it at the top. So this will need to go into the freezer again to set, but once it has set, basically all you will then do is drizzle more, and I mean more, of your decadent ice cream chocolate dessert on there, and then finish it off with some nicely grated chocolate bits. I've grated mine. You can basically, if you want to, you can even just get some cuttings of the chocolate. It's completely up to you, and that's basically it. This can be eaten immediately. I would suggest freeze the sponge on the cake first. Once it comes out, garnish it, eat it immediately, and that's basically it. That's your dessert, South Africa. And I call this double the indulgence. To get this recipe, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za, and in case you missed it, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.